Hello everyone and welcome back to another 9 RIP. I almost said keep your parasite or go realize I haven't gotten used to saying 9 RIP yet. 9 rest in peace. So we are on chapter 2 of the Ghost Stories of the Common Root, the first common root that we're going to be playing through in the series. This is the 3rd episode, so if you need to catch up on the series, I'll link that at the end of this video so you can catch up. Anyway, we had just been told that in order for her to escape, she will have to force her own spiritine away, so get herself back to the mortal realm, as the ghosts call it. And she's met 4 ghosts so far. 2 of them are the characters of this route. 2 of them, or 1 of them, I should say, is not even in the route because she's the nurse girl, and then there's another one from another route. Speaking of the other boy, I was saying that he was Raphael from Love in Deep Space, obviously the Japanese version, because if you buy the English one and the American store, it's all in English. And I said I'd never played that before, but I downloaded it because I'm like, you know what? Like, it was 7 o'clock in the morning. My neighbors decided to start construction. Well, I mean, they didn't decide to, but still. There were construction workers over at 6:45. The sun hasn't even come up yet. And people are drilling and hammering. And I don't know what they're doing with a pole, but my bedroom is like 10 feet. Well, 5 feet away from the fence line. And so just like 10 feet away from their house. And they're like, the pole, whatever they're doing with it, was hitting my roof right above my bed. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I know people are up at this time of the day, but I'm not. I don't go to bed until like 3 or 4 in the morning. I can't handle this. So I didn't want to get up and record. I thought about it, but I didn't get up and record. Instead, I downloaded Love in Deep Space because I was like, it'll be entertaining at the least, right? So all I ever knew about Love in Deep Space was it was a like a self-insert visual novel, kind of. I didn't know anything about the storyline, or that it had like action combat in it that you could take, I don't know, your friends on. Like, I think that the first one you meet is Xavier, and you take him on a mission together because you find him injured. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know there was all of this. So I'm a lot more interested in it now because I'm like, I don't know about a self-insert game with real-looking men. I'd rather just stick to fantasy and sci-fi games like this where there's a character inserted and it's not me. But anyway, I won't be playing that on this channel or anything, so it's just something to entertain myself in my free time when my neighbors are doing construction. Alright, to force my own spiritine away, it wasn't just me, even Kureha looked surprised. So I'd use similar powers to return this entire space to the mortal realm. Is that the idea?
そうよ。
失敗すれば、隔離を側へ行くことも考えられますが。
That's one way to end up with your guy permanently.
それなら、他に方法はあって?
Why does it just say girl? He needs a name. Hold on. I don't even know how to begin thinking about the spiritine away process. I'm not a deity. I don't have powers like that.
それは俺も思うところだが。
With this, Kureha turned to look at the girl.
起こす方法を知っているから提案した。そうだろう。
そうよ。聞いたことはないかしら。
Obviously not if he's asking.
学校の七不思議をすべて呼び覚ませば、神隠しに合うという噂を。
I wonder if there's like an overarching plot. I read that in the review they don't really have anything. The common roots are not linked, so it's like what I understood was there's their own standalone story. So I wonder if she's going to interact with all of them, even in this common root. I can mention something like that too.
学校の七不思議をすべて起こすと神隠しに合う。
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Is it a local legend too? Which school is it about?
これはネットにあったものでね。どこっていう場所は載ってなくてさ。
Sorry that the text is all white. I was trying to make this all red and auto like go away. I guess you could make it go away with B for screenshots, but I've been noticing in my CGs whenever because I don't hit B, I just grab them when the text is gone, but that is still on the side. So I hit enlarge them so they're out of the screenshot. But sorry. But yeah, it's whatever. I can't make it go away.
七不思議はこの現実世界にはありえないもの。つまり聖者の領域を侵す事象。
Now I have to deal with the white letters.
だからそれをすべて起こすと境界線が揺らぐ。気づけばあたりは赤に染まり、この世のものではない景色が広がって、そうなれば最後はもう元の世界へは戻れない。永遠に赤の世の住民になってしまう。
Isn't that just urban legend?
私の時代にもその都市伝説があったのよ。そしてそれは実証されている。私がそれを成し得てしまったのよ。
Oh, really? You caused a spiriting away. The girl looked melancholic and nodded slowly.
神隠しを起こした少女。
Kureha murmured, seemingly knowing something, and turned away.
私は当時通っていた学校で七不思議をすべて呼び覚ました。そして生きながらにして隔離世である地獄へと飛ばされてしまった。
Oh my goodness. After a brief pause, she glanced at Saya.
そこで出会ったのが聖夜さんよ。地獄で聖者一人化け物に襲われて聖夜さんが助けに入ってくれたわ。
助けたとは言えません。結果的にあなたは亡くなったのですから。
気に病まないで。現実から逃げたくて神隠しを行ってしまった私が愚かだったのだから。
So she didn't jump off the roof? Despite her words, Seiya continued to frown. So she died because she spirited herself away. Seiya mentioned that such acts were difficult without divine powers. But even without divine powers, humans could still cause it if they knew how. But that means... can I ask something? I cautiously raised my hand. Everyone looked at me, making me even more nervous. After hesitating for a moment, I decided to voice my concerns. Given what you just said, it sounds like forcing a spiriting away is very dangerous for humans. If I try to spirit myself away, I might end up in hell in the hidden realm, in which case, wouldn't I end up just like her? I kept the last bit to myself, but the thought weighed heavily on my mind. Given that everyone was trying to find a way to return, perhaps it was selfish for me to worry only about myself, but I'm scared of dying. I don't want to do this.
そうよね。ごめんなさい。あなたへの配慮に欠ける提案だったわ。本当にごめんなさい。
Oh, it's okay.
彼女にさせるべきではないな。もっと安全に帰る方法があるはずだ。
Aw, as a ghost, even though he wants to get back, he still is in it for her safety.
私もそう思うのですが、あまり時間は残されていないかと。
Seiya looked at me with a grave expression on his face.
ここの空気は確実にあなたを蝕んでいくでしょう。本物の隔離世である地獄ほどではありませんが。
Well, that's terrifying.
幽霊と共にいて正気でいられるはずもなく、ここの空気のよどみはあなたの体からぬくもりを奪っていく。
It reminds me of another game I wanted to play. I forgot what it's called, but every person is destined to die by like the age of 25 or something like that. And I think she dies like over and over again, and she's trying to prevent herself continuing in that circle. I may be confusing two games, but because it was rated mature, I'm like, which is funny because the fan disc is not rated mature. It's rated T, but the original is, and so I don't want to read something that's rated mature because I don't want to get into some uncomfortable content.
聖者には厳しい環境なのは間違いありません。他の方法を探っているうち、死ぬでしょう。
The seriousness of Seiya's tone was enough to let me know for sure. He's not exaggerating, he's telling the truth. Despite the risk, I would likely have to try to force a spiriting away.
これは私の勝手な考えですが、神のご意志で神隠しにあったのなら、神には何か思惑があるはず。戯れなのか、彼女を思ってされたのか、わかりかねますが、何にしても神は今も彼女を見ていらっしゃるでしょう。
I think it's one of the two from the spirit world. I think it's what it's called. There's two in the spirit world. I think it's the little boy. I could be wrong though. You mean right now? I knew there was no way for me to see it, but that didn't stop me from looking around. This is way more than just creepy. This is genuinely frightening.
大丈夫だ。そばにいるから。
Oh. He patted me reassuringly. His simple act of kindness began to put my fears at ease.
神が見ているからなんだという。話が見えないぞ。
もし神様のお気に召せば、神隠しを起こした際、うつしお側へ戻るよう手を貸してくださる。そういうこと？
Seiya's approving nod caused me to think. If that's the case, then using the spirited away method might not be as dangerous as I thought. Maybe that really is the way home.
お前はどう思う？
Kureha seemed keen on putting my wishes first. I, worried as I was if doing nothing meant death, then I had to take my chances. I'm going to try to force the spiriting away.
それなら俺はお前に協力しよう。無事にうつしおへと帰れるようにな。
I think it's cute that he's made this his private mission to like escort her back.
それに俺も帰りたいんだ。
You
あ
have a
ちらに
friend?
は幽霊の友人がいるからな。
He has a friend that lives in the moral realm. Who's your friend?
私にも協力させてくれないかしら。あなたに私のような思いはさせたくないの。
Thank you, both of you. Their willingness to help moved me deeply. I expressed my gratitude with a deep bow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. As I looked up, I was met by their comforting smiles, which caused me to smile in return.
さっきの話の通りなら時間が限られている。ここの空気にやられる前に今すぐ動くべきだろう。
Did he just leave? Right, so could you tell me more about how the spiriting away process works? The girl nodded and began her explanation.
あなたは成見ヶ浜高校に伝わる七不思議をすべて知っていて？
Well, I concentrated trying to recall all that I could and began sharing what I knew. I only knew about the ones my friend told me about. Firstly, there's Kara.
それは俺の噂話だ。
It's just a rumor. I nodded in agreement with Kureha and also... I glanced towards the girl.
保健室の少女ね。私だわ。
She already knew what you were going to say. So that was her after all. I didn't know what she thought about the rumors, but out of the 7 wonders, I sighed in relief that 2 were already here. And there's a Hanako of the toilet on the 2nd floor. Oh my goodness. I don't want to summon that guy. Plus the library's wish-granting book. A slight shiver ran down my spine as I thought of the next wonder. Lastly, on the central stairwell between the 1st and 2nd floor, there's the grasp of the mirror rumor. That's all I know, just those 5.
あと2つね。私はここにいるばかりだから、あまり噂話には詳しくなくて。
I thought maybe I can change the red text. I thought I saw somewhere that you can change the color of the red text to like not show red text in the, because I don't like the white outlines of that text, especially when I have to go back and reread something. It's just obvious that I've already read it before. Anyway, she's heard rumors.
なら 他の幽霊に聞いて探せばいいな。
あら、あなたも知らないのね。
怖い話は得意ではなくてな。
Oh, is he scared of ghost stories? Huh, I wouldn't have thought that ghosts would all be into that kind of thing. Though maybe I'm stereotyping a bit here.
それなら、あとの2つは私が探すとして、あなたには分かっている分の七不思議を呼び覚ましてもらうわ。
How do you awaken them, though? You just go talk to them? She's already talked to one of them. So that will be my role in all this. I listened, feeling the weight of the task ahead.
手順だけで言えば簡単よ。その1、目の前に現れた怪異が本当に七不思議に該当しているのか確かめる。
So what classifies as a seven wonder? Just like a special way that you died or something?
その2、怪異から本当の名前を教えてもらう。呼び覚ました証拠としてね。
You need your real name. Their real name. Her words reminded me of what Kureha mentioned about saying my own name out loud. If it can be used to curse someone who can or confirm they've awakened, there must be so much power associated with names. I guess that's how a mere human could get spirited away.
今の手順を怪異と会話することでこなしていくのよ。
So I really need to talk with him.
聞き方によっては教えてくれないばかりか、精神的に参ってしまうような出来事が起こるかもしれない。だから十分に気をつけてね。
What's your name? Right. After encountering the boy in the mirror, I had a sense of what that felt like. It was psychologically draining. I thought of having to talk to these ghosts and potentially losing my mind was almost too much to bear.
俺は彼女についていこう。危険な目に遭わせられないからな。
He'll protect you. Thank you. Having you by my side definitely makes me feel safer. Expressing my gratitude, I thought I saw Kureha blush slightly. Oh, he is. That's so cute. It's probably just the red glow here. No, it's not.
私はさっきも言った通り、残りの2つを探すわね。
Thank you. That would be very helpful.
こんなこと言ったら気を悪くするでしょうけど、今の状況なら神隠しを起こしやすいわ。この世界だからこそ、霊感がなくても幽霊の姿が視認できて発見しやすいのだから。
I suppose that's true. I never thought of myself as someone with the power to see ghosts.
だからあなたがここの空気に侵される前に手早くこなしていきましょう。
Yeah, how does she come about a spiriting away in the mortal realm? Because I think it would be very hard to see ghosts, right? Her optimism was infectious and gave me the motivation to press on. I'll give it my all. Oh, hi, he's back. Thea, who'd been quietly observing until now, looked up and began to speak. I thought he left.
この世界だからこそ、その点で言えば曖昧だからこそ起きていることがあります。まず幽霊が聖者や物質に触れられること、逆に聖者も幽霊に触れられること、他にも何か写しようではありえないような断りに反していることはありませんでしたか？
All the doors are locked. Alright, so there's a lot of choices in this. I just thought of this until now. This could actually be a really long episode. Let me see. Well, there's 10 choices and there's 2 options to go to the map. It might go through some of them pretty quickly though, because if it's the thoughts, it goes through them quickly. So we're going to say being dragged into the mirror. The grasp of the mirror ghost nearly dragged me into his mirror.
鏡の中の？
Something wrong.
あ、いえ。
You're lying.
引きずり込まれそうになったのは聖者にしかない魅力に惹かれたからでしょう。気をつけなければ取りつかれます。私は地獄の大看守ですから、聖者に魅了されないよう訓練を受けていますが。
I don't want to see what that means. The living can greatly attract the dead. Mesmerized by this charm, some ghosts can't even lose their sanity. Oh my goodness. You know, I'm not really interested in glossary terms, like what they actually mean, but was curious about that one. Then Seiya glanced at the others.
私は訓練を受けていないから気をつけなければね。
そうだな。もし俺に対して異常を察知したら、遠慮なく引っ叩いてくれ。
Just slap me as hard as you can. That's funny. What? I can't do that.
明暗ね。衝撃で目が覚めるかもしれないわ。私に対しても気を使わずに手刀でも何でもかましてちょうだい。
A good karate chop in the back of the neck. Her earnestness left me unsure of what to say. I don't know how to do a karate chop. That was the only response I could muster. Oh, right. There's one more thing. And then I saw something when it touched. When the ghost touched my hand, I thought I saw some kind of vision.
なるほど。それは正しく断りに反していますね。おそらく心残りを強く持つ幽霊の思念が流れ込んできたのでしょう。ここにいる幽霊は心残りがあって成仏できずにいる者たちですから。
Things left undone, that means both that girl and Kureha have their own unresolved issues. Just then, the image of the boy in the mirror flashed before my eyes. Living with those lingering regrets must be incredibly sad and painful. I wonder if he even wants to cross over. Maybe not. That was obviously a sensitive topic, one that needed to be approached with care. It also made me wonder if the headache I felt at the same time was a reflection of his own pain. Oh, that's right. When we touched, I felt as though I had a terrible headache. Could that happen again?
危険ですから、今後はあまり触れないように。闇に染まっている思念なら、あなたの精神に支障をきたします。逆にそういった思念でないならば、危険はないのですが。
Not a threat is a glossary term. What does that mean? If you touch a ghost who holds a strong form of regret, their thoughts tend to flow into you. The thoughts are dark and will negatively affect the living person's sanity. So long as you don't directly touch them, you should be fine. Okay. The girl glanced between Kureha and me.
先ほど彼に背を触れられていたけれど、その時は大丈夫そうだったわよね。
When Kureha touched her? I think it's fine if we touch through our clothes.
そう。知っておいてよかったわ。こちらも気をつけるわね。
No skin contact. She then gave Kureha a sharp look.
俺も気をつけるつもりだ。触れないよう我慢しよう。
He's like, what are you looking at me for? It's not like I'm gonna touch her. What does he mean by hold back? I think it's funny. She's already scolding him to leave like his man feelings out of this. But I'll do my best to hold back. Does that mean that he already like is getting a crush on her? I couldn't quite grasp the situation, but didn't press for more details. I'll try to avoid direct contact as well. Feeling somewhat embarrassed for Kureha and by the situation, I spoke up too.
ああ、そうだな。そうした方がいい。
For some reason, Kureha looked gloomy as he spoke. Maybe he doesn't want me seeing his lingering regrets. I decided to be careful moving forward with him. There shouldn't... Huh? I noticed Seiya starting to fade, which caused me to blink in confusion. Seiya, your body.
もう間もなく帰還の時です。私は特殊な方法でこちらに来ているので、時間が限られていましてね。
He must return to the other realm. Return? Is he going back to hell now?
待って。聖夜さんに話があるのよ。
それなら俺たちは先に行動するか。時間が惜しいからな。
Right. Seiya, thank you for all your help. Seiya smiled back at me. He gave me a slight bow. I like Seiya. I was a little bit leery of him at first because he's all like proper and stuff, and
どの会議に合うか考えているか。
because he's all proper and I don't know. It seems like he was scolding her at first, but he seems like a good guy. I think maybe we should start off with the one of the kinder ghosts. That was when it hit me. I forgot to ask the girl in the nurse's office her name. Oh my goodness.
確かにそうだったな。話の成り行きで聞きそびれてしまった。
I told you like 3 times.
今は話中だろうから後回しにするしかないか。
Right, so excluding her, we still have, considering where we were, the closest potential ghost would be the one in the library and the one in the mirror on the stairway. I guess I have to meet that boy in the mirror again. I was scared, but I knew I'd have to face him eventually. Given how scared I am, maybe it's better to get that one over with first. The boy in the mirror. That was when I noticed Kureha's dejected gaze. What is it? You're just staring at the nurse's office.
ああ。いや、少し気になることがあってな。
What is it? Kureha looked away from me again. Seeing him hesitant, I quickly backtracked. Sorry, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
謝るようなことではない。気にするな。
Well, alright then. As I continued to contemplate which ghost to meet next, Kureha stood up.
いや、やはり話しておこう。
Is it your regrets? Alright. I wonder what it could be about. Kureha looked serious, which only increased my anxiety.
今から話すのは、ある事件についてだ。時代で言うと、1949年。
So the last spirit teen away? So from about 70 years ago.
ああ。ちなみに俺が生きていた時代だ。
Oh, wow. That's a long time ago. Huh? I had no idea he lived so long ago.
俺だけではないぞ。この学校にいる他の幽霊の中にも、同じ時代を生きていた者たちがいる。
I don't remember what her friends said, but there was some kind of mass spirit teen away then. Oh, really? So all the ghosts here were from the same period. That seems like a huge coincidence. But actually, I can't say for sure. Either way, it's not like I know a lot about ghosts.
その幽霊たちは、口々にこう言っていてな。神殺し事件に巻き込まれて死んだ。と。
Invocation incident. I'd never heard of that before. So does that mean all of the ghosts here were caught up in some kind of incident and died that way? If the incident took place in 1949, that was a long time ago, so it would make sense I'd never heard of it. Then something about that year struck me. You just remembered.
こういう各地の伝承と同じようにね、成見ヶ浜も昔から神隠しが多い土地って言われてるんだよ。何しろ行方不明者が全国平均の 1.9 倍。特に大きい事件は戦後の1949年。
A big war sparked a huge spirit teen away.
なんと7人も神隠しにあったとかで、これは当時の新聞欄を賑わせて。
Well, there you go, the Seven Wonders. I think I did hear about that. During that year, the Narimigahama, 7 people were spirited away.
神隠しと取り上げたのは低俗な雑誌のたわごとでしかない。
The vulgar tabloid.
正しくは行方不明と報道され、後に殺されたと分かってな。つまり、殺人事件だ。行方不明とされた7名のうち6名が、この地で遺体となって発見され、神殺し事件と名付けられた。
Wait, by this very land, do you mean?
言葉通り、ここ、成見ヶ浜高校だ。もっと正確に言えば、今俺たちがいる塔、本館の位置。
Your high school is haunted. I felt a chill run down my spine. I never knew the school I attended was ground zero for a series of murders. Thinking back on it, I recall the school being built in the 1970s. So the incident happened long before the school was built.
ああ、あの時代この本館の位置には、月神という町の名士の屋敷が建っていてな。そこで起こった事件だ。
Sorry, I'm having to go back several times because I just keep skipping ahead before they're done. There's like such a long pause that I don't know when they're done. It's just going to happen all the time. I can just see it. One more thing. You said 6 bodies were found, but what about the 7th?
遺体が見つからなかったんだ。そのことから神隠し説が濃厚とされてな。しばらくこの町を騒がせていた。
So the spirited away rumors still remain because of the last body was never found. I think I'm just gonna have to listen for the music to pick up a bit because the music picks up when they're done talking. That'll be my cue, I guess. Anyway.
さっき神隠しを起こしたと発言した者がいただろう。
The girl? I was starting to get what Kureha was hinting at. The girl in the nurse's office. Kureha nodded.
おそらくあの少女は月神結衣。神殺し事件が起こった屋敷、月神家。その家の一人娘の名だ。
Wow, so even the daughter of the mansion was killed at the mansion? My goodness. I hadn't expected this connection.
もしあの少女が月神結衣ならば、彼女の内情に関わることだから話していいものか悩んだのだが。
You mean because I forgot to ask her name? Kureha shook his head in response.
もしかしたら、学校の七不思議の会に神殺し事件の被害者がいるかもしれない。そうだった場合、月神の姓は必ず出てくる。恨み事の一つとしてな。
Can you imagine if they all had like a grudge against her? Seeing as their lingering regrets likely had to do with their murders, I quickly understood and shivered at the realization.
あの少女が月神結衣と名乗ったとして、お前がこの事件を知らずに別の会から月神の姓を聞いたら動揺するだろう。そのような事態に陥ればうまくことが運ばないかもしれない。そう思ってな。
So he did this to ensure I wouldn't be overly stressed. He did it so I could remain calm when talking to the other ghosts. Aw, he's so cute. Anyway, what's the thing? It is, I promise to do my best. Actually, we're going to do thank you very much first. Thank you for telling me this.
お礼を言われることじゃない。言っただろ。俺もうつしおへ帰りたいとな。
I guess that's true too. Based on Kureha's actions, I sensed there was more to this than his own desire to return home. I've got to watch myself. If I get too emotional, other ghosts might see it as a weakness and try to attack me. He was likely teaching me this to prevent me from getting into trouble, knowing him that was likely the case.
少し長話してしまったな。さて、一人目の会に会いに行くか。
Alright. We agreed to meet the grasp of the mirror ghost, and I walked beside Kureha down the hall. Though I had only recently met Kureha, I had a strong sense of trust towards him. Perhaps it was too early to have these feelings, but I found myself wanting to believe in him. I know, he's going to backstab you at the last minute. Probably not, but still. We talked as we climbed the stairs. Kureha mentioned that his presence might deter the boy from appearing. Alright, now we're going to go and say, I promise to do my best. I'll do my best. Let's make sure everyone gets back home safe and sound.
ああ、そうだな。俺も精一杯お前に尽くそう。
Thank you. Filled with motivation, Kureha seemed to sigh with relief.
はあ、安心した。実はお前を怖がらせるのではと不安に思っていた部分もあってな。
Kureha, everything you told me was important for me to know. There's no reason for me to be afraid. That had been the case this whole time. Given how kind he had been towards me, I felt no reason to be afraid around him. I must really have hurt his feelings when I looked so scared of him at first. Looking back on it, I realized how rude I was. Please allow me to apologize. If only I had a chance to do it over again.
出会いからか。俺はやり直したくないんだがな。
Really?
ああ。幽霊となってからあの時ほど嬉しい言葉を送られたことはない。今も俺の心を温めているんだぞ。
He's so cute. What do you mean? Kureha chuckled as he spoke.
友人からカラカラさんの噂話を聞かされた時言っていたじゃないか。
I don't know, I just feel bad for him. I mean, ever since he died, he's been wandering and searching for his memories. It's pretty sad. You heard all that. I had thought back to the event when I first entered this world and was surprised to learn that Kureha and I had met already.
寄り添うようなあの言葉に、俺は胸を打たれてな。それで、ずっとお前に伝えたかったんだ。ありがとう。とな。
His words of gratitude were so unexpected. Could it be? In the hallway at dusk, it wasn't just my imagination. I sensed the presence of Karakara, or Kureha. His desire to thank me let me sense his presence there with me. Looking back, it felt like nothing short of a miracle, and also so romantic that he tried to reach out to me like that. Oh really, she thinks it's romantic. I'm so happy you told me. I promise to always remember it. I spoke with a smile, and Kureha smiled back at me.
少し長話してしまったな。さて、一人目の会に会いに行くか。
Right. I told him we would first visit the boy in the mirror, and the two of us walked side by side as we headed down the hallway. As I walked with her down the central hallway, I was filled with elation. Not only was I finally able to thank her, she responded with a warm smile. There was nothing better than that smile. From the moment I met her, she continued to warm my frozen heart. It was my attraction only because she was a member of the living. No, that didn't seem to be the only reason. I'd encountered many living before, but none drew me in the way she did. I had no doubt these feelings for her were genuine. I just couldn't find the right words. By the way, Kureha, you mentioned you disliked scary stories, right? Are you sure you're okay with meeting the Seven Wonders?
ああ、そのことか。引きずり鏡のものなら平気だ。
He didn't say no, he just said he's fine with that one. He seemed okay back when we first encountered him too. I'm glad you're alright with it. It seemed she was genuinely concerned for me. Her kindness warmed my heart yet again. Yet I knew it was wrong of me to only receive kindness from her. I needed to provide her with comfort too. No matter what, I would be her light of hope, guiding her through the darkness. I will send her back to the mortal realm. I have a feeling this guy's gonna be my favorite. I know I said that in the last one too, but we're back to where we picked up now. We decided he should wait behind the wall, out of sight from inside the mirror. As for me, I stood a short distance from the mirror as I peered into it, waiting for the ghost from before to appear. I don't see him. Kureha said previously that he could sense the presence of the ghost and would even see him in the mirror at times. But whenever he noticed him, the ghost would always flee back deeper into the mirror. Maybe calling him out would work? Ghost in the mirror, please come out. With that in mind, I took a deep breath and faced the mirror. Because that's the only option, I guess we're going with that. I called to him and waited, but no response came. Maybe once isn't enough. Please come out, I wish to speak. Nothing. It seemed the boy was nowhere to be found. One more try. I need your help. You're my only hope. Still won't come out. I cast a glance towards Kureha and he just shook his head. Turning back to the mirror, I noticed... something's different. Peering closer, a dark shadow on the staircase caught my eye. Two dim lights flickered, sending shivers down my spine. Camouflaged against the background, they were barely visible, but they seemed to be eyes. I glanced back at Kureha, seeking confirmation. He nodded. So... you're there, aren't you? I'd really like to talk with you. The shadow twitched slightly, but remained silent. He's near, and that reaction means he heard me, but from this distance, I needed to find a way to draw him in. He's like super scared of you. He seemed intrigued by my warmth before. Perhaps getting closer to the mirror might coax him out. He's gonna like kidnap her. Insanity. Oh no. Okay, so move closer to the mirror is correct on both. So we're going to do a continue speaking and see what happens. It's too dangerous. I shouldn't get closer. I continued calling out to him, trying to see how he would react. Maybe I should try saying something else. Thanks for listening and not running away. Could you come closer so I can see you clearly? I wonder if that will work. I waited, watching the shadow stir. He's like, no. For some reason, he seemed hesitant. Yet gradually, he inched closer to me. Oh, he looks so sad. He was now close enough for me to see his face. He wouldn't meet my gaze, a pained look upon his face.
ごめんなさい。最初、怖がらせてしまって。
Oh, no, not at all. I'm okay now, so please don't worry about it. He's not at all what I expected.
優しくしてくれて、ありがとうございます。でも、もう話しかけないでください。
Aw, is he regretting what he did? I mean, he did sound really creepy when he did do it.
それでは、さよなら。
He bowed and began to turn away. Wait, please, just listen to me for a moment. At my urge, he paused. It's very important, so please hear me out.
僕、ダメなんです。最初、あなたの体温を感じてから、自制心が失われていくようで。
What do you mean?
僕にも初めてのことなので、よくわからないんですけど、あなたの手に触れたとき、一時的にですが、心にある寂しさが薄れたんです。それがとても心地よくて、怖がらせると分かっていても、あなたのぬくもりが欲しくてたまらなくて。
His ecstatic expression looked so out of place I couldn't help but shiver. It's like when we first met. Perhaps he appeared different because of me. Because of the charm of the living. I started to understand what Seiya meant when he said that.
さっき隠れていたのは、いろいろ葛藤していたからなんです。前回のことを謝りたいって思う反面、鏡に近づいたら、今度こそこっち側に引っ張れるっていう欲望もあって、心にある寂しさが薄れるその体温は、僕にとって毒のようなものなのかもです。
But now you've overcome that desire, right? If you can hold it back, then I don't need to be scared, right?
あなたは僕が怖くないんですか？
Honestly, I am, but not so much as before. The young boy kept staring at the floor, lost in thought. He sighed softly and slowly began to speak.
あと5歩くらい下がってください。
Huh?
僕がそちらに行きます。それならこちら側へ引っ張ってやろうって思えなくなる気がするから。
If he really does come here, that'd be for the best, but... I looked at Kureha, who was smiling, seemingly proud of me. His smile was so warm, but am I actually just deceiving the boy in the mirror? Will he run if he knows Kureha is here too?
僕がそちらへ行く案、ダメでしたか？信用できないとか。
No, that's not it. I'm sorry. I silently apologized and stepped back as he asked. After I moved, the young boy slowly emerged from the mirror, still looking very afraid. When he noticed Kureha beside me, he jumped in surprise. He tried to retreat back into the mirror, but Kureha grabbed his arm.
なんであなたが？
そう怯えるな。危害は加えない。ただ話をしたいだけだ。
I didn't mean to trick you, but don't worry, Kureha is not as frightening as you may have been led to believe.
彼女を恨むなよ。俺が無理を言ってついてきたんだ。前回の様子を見て心配だったんでな。
Kureha. He spoke in a way that shifted the blame away from me.
お前にとっても俺がいた方がいいだろ。俺がいれば彼女を襲えないんだからな。
それはそうですけど。
一つ覚えておくといい。お前のみならず、幽霊が彼女に触れれば、彼女がとても苦しむということ。
Okay, I'm gonna go back up and read it from the other side because he's out. I had to go back and forth until they finally kind of diverged into one. So that's going to be as far as we go down this one, and we're going to go down the insanity path now. Alright, move closer to the mirror. Maybe just a little more. Uh-oh. I stepped forward while looking at Kureha. I thought I could feel hesitation in his gaze, but he didn't speak out to stop me. I turned back to the mirror and... Oh my goodness! Creepy eyes! The shadow of a figure suddenly stood right before me. Oh, crap. His wild, crazed expression left me speechless, overcome with shock. He reached out through the mirror and grabbed my arm. I knew it! I knew he would! It was so fast I had no time to react.
捕まえた。
Okay, I take back everything that I said. Just as I felt myself being pulled in.
それはこちらのセリフだ。
Kureha leaped out of his hiding place and tightly lashed onto the boy's arm. His hold weakened, and I quickly retreated away from the mirror. It was terrifying. My heart raced uncontrollably as I struggled to calm down. He only touched me through my clothes, but the fear left me shaking and numb.
深呼吸をした方がいい。今は心を落ち着けることに集中するんだ。
Okay. Kureha's calm voice guided me, and I closed my eyes and breathed in deeply. I should not have gotten closer. That was a lapse in judgment on my part. Reflecting on my mistake, I slowly regained my composure. I took several deep breaths. Regardless, the sudden attack left an emotional scar on my mind. I think I'm okay now. I'm sorry, but I think I'm... Opening my eyes, I found the boy on the mirror on our side, catching me off guard.
引っ張り出しておいた方が鏡の中へ引きずられる心配が少ない。お前を直接守れるしな。
Right, that makes sense. Kureha had a firm grip on the boy's arm. This seems to be a lot safer. The boy looked back at us terrified. It was a stark contrast from his earlier demeanor. Our eyes met. Then he quickly averted his gaze to the floor.
ごめんなさい。欲望のまま動いてしまって。また、あなたを怖がらせてしまいました。
This is the complete opposite of what he was when you don't go down the insanity route. He wants you to back away, and he wants to leave and never talk to her again. And this one, he's like, I must have you. Is he the same person? He seemed so different than before.
僕、ダメなんです。最初、あなたの体温を感じてから、自制心が失われていくようで。
What are you talking about?
僕にも初めてのことなので、よくわからないんですけど、あなたの手に触れたとき、一時的にですが、心にある寂しさが薄れたんです。それがとても心地よくて、怖がらせると分かっていても、あなたのぬくもりが欲しくてたまらなくて。
Shifting his expression left me unnerved, sending chills down my spine.
聖者の魅力に魅せられたということか。
さっき隠れていたのは、いろいろ葛藤していたからなんです。 前回のことを謝りたいって思う反面、鏡に近づいたら今度こそこっち側に引っ張れるっていう欲望もあって。
Yet it seemed his desires ultimately got the better of him.
心にある寂しさが薄れるその体温は、僕にとって毒のようなものなのかもです。
Hearing this, I found it hard to hold any resentment towards him. This is where we left off on the non-insanity route. So it does diverge eventually. It was just really long. The allure of the living. I was beginning to understand what that meant now. I understand your attraction to the living is out of your control, so it's alright now.
ありがとうございます。
History is going to be interesting.
一つ覚えておくといい。お前のみならず、幽霊が彼女に触れれば、彼女がとても苦しむということ。頭痛と精神的な苦痛を味わわせてしまうらしくてな。お前も彼女を傷つけたくはないだろ
The boy stared back at us silent. His face, already devoid of any color, grew even paler.
本当にごめんなさい。僕、なんて恐ろしいことを。
It's okay, you didn't know. But please don't worry about it.
もう二度とあなたに触れません。完全に目が覚めました。
Will you, though? I'm glad to hear that, and thank you. I smiled, feeling relieved, and he just stared blankly at me. Something wrong?
いえ、なんでもないです。
And now he's blushing. Oh my goodness. He looked quickly away, and I thought I saw his cheeks turn red. Probably just the glow of the moon. She could be one of these characters that's just like, oh yeah, just the light. I mean, it's nothing. It's whatever.
あなたが優しい人でよかったです。ありがとうございます。
I'd never seen him smile that way before. It was as though I was seeing his true smile. I get the feeling everything is going to be okay now. Kureha, maybe you can let go of his arm.
いや、いつ逃げるかわからないからな。話が終わるまでこのままでいてもらう。
I think he's okay.
逃げるのはあなたのせいです。いつも僕を狙ってるから。
Chasing you? There must be a misunderstanding. Actually, I turned to Kureha. Kureha, you didn't try to chase him before, did you?
あれは
Kureha hesitated, then cleared his throat and tried to regain his composure.
狙ってはいない。俺はただ聞きたいことがあって接触を試みていたんだ。
そんなの信じられないです。いつも怖い顔して鏡の前で待ち伏せしていたりして。
Ambush him. Ambush.
危険な人だから
Sketchy and
近づき
dangerous.
たくなかったのに。
Yeah, it's like a big teddy bear trying to get someone's attention, but it's so intimidating. Oh, I can see how Kureha could appear scary. Kureha, maybe you should apologize here.
ああ、そのようだな。
Oh, he said okay. Kureha released the boy's hand and gave a curt bow. Oh, he even bowed to
お
him.
前を怖がらせる気はなかった。心から悪かったと思う。すまない。
That was adorable. The young boy looked surprised before smiling gently.
もういいです。なんか話せてよかったです。
I don't know if I trust that smile. It looks like an evil smile. Phew, what a relief.
でもどうして幽霊と聖者が一緒にいるんですか？
Oh, he's helping me get back to the moral realm.
うつしおへ帰る。
Are you afraid of that?
お前、このおかしな空気に気づいていなかったのか？
それは気づいてました。鏡の外がやけに赤いから隔離用のようだと思っていたんです。それになぜか別館へ行けないようになってしまって。
別館って鏡から出て 確かめに行ったのか？
そんなこと怖くてできないですよ。鏡の中の学校で確認したんです。
I wonder what's inside the mirror. Is it like a reflection of the school?
ああ、そういうことか。それにしてもこのような異常事態になってもガンとして引きこもっているとは。
それよりも現状を教えてください。あと大切な話というのも。
Ah, right. I explained to him how Kureha and I were trying to find a way back. I said we wanted you to tell us your name. Would you mind? He fell silent again and started staring at the ground.
このままの世界だと僕も困りますから協力します。それにあなたとお近づきになれるかもだし。
I don't know about that.
お前、まだ懲りてないのか？
He's become like more than just her protector. He's like her big brother now. Like, don't touch her.
違いますよ。僕は純粋に彼女と接したいんです。もちろん触れ合わずに。
Maybe big brother wasn't the right term. Guardian. He's just jealous.
はあ、それならいいが、彼女のためにも正気を失うなよ。
He's like, I have a rival already. Let's see, what's the correct choice? Another, oh, it's an affection. Okay. Probably a Hibiki affection, though. I'm gonna say he'll be fine. I think he'll be alright. He promised never to touch me again.
はい。あの言葉を守ります。怖がらせるのはもう嫌だから。
I could tell he was still concerned. I wanted to say more, but I couldn't find the right words, so I stayed quiet.
思ったんですけど、あなたは、クレハさんは大丈夫なんですか？
ああ、聖者の魅力に惹かれた覚えはない。俺は出会ってからこれまでずっと彼女自身に惹かれている。
Huh?
人としてという意味だ。深読みしなくていい。
There's no need to read too much into it. He's been interested in you since the beginning. Ah, that's what you meant. The way he spoke made me happy. It's like he thinks I'm a good person.
かっこいい。ずるい。
それはないだろう。それよりも大事なことを済ませてしまおう。
あ、そうでしたね。
The boy turned to face me again and looked directly into my eyes, then...
僕は七不思議の一つ、引きずり鏡の怪異と認めます。本当の名前は響。覚えてくれると嬉しいです。
響。
Do you know him? Okay, we're gonna go back up and we're going to do it from the beginning now. The affection upside now. And we're gonna give Hibiki affection, right? Right. I trust him. I can tell he won't give in to his desires anymore. Oh, he's so cute. You said you came to your senses, right? You looked pretty serious about that when you said it. His gaze was always timid and shifty, but when he said those words to me, his gaze was straightforward and earnest. That's why I chose to believe him.
信じてくれて嬉しいです。ありがとうございます。
It makes me smile when they're all happy like this, happy and giddy.
あなたには聖者というだけじゃない。あなた自身に魅力があるんですね。
You beat Kureha to that punch. You're making me blush. It does make me happy though.
思ったんですけど、あなたは、クレハさんは大丈夫なんですか？
I guess I could have came here much sooner, but it's fine.
ああ、聖者の魅力に惹かれた覚えはない。俺は出会ってからこれまで ずっと彼女自身に惹かれている。
Everyone's interested in you as a person.
人としてという意味だ。深読みしなくていい。
Okay, that's what you meant. The way he spoke made me happy. It's like he thinks I'm a good person.
かっこいい。ずるい。
I skipped to the name.
あ、僕は七不思議の一つ、引きずり鏡の怪異と認めます。本当の名前は響。覚えてくれると嬉しいです。
響。
Thank you for sharing. I'll be sure to call you Hibiki from now on.
それだと僕の方が年上みたいで変です。僕は高校生の年齢じゃないし。
But Hibiki's your first name, right? How's that formal? I had a feeling we were about the same age. Alright, I'll speak more casually then.
はい、嬉しいです。名前で呼ばれるなんてすごく久しぶりで。本当に嬉しい。
Maybe in the original Japanese, untranslated, maybe it was still formal.
気持ちはわかるな。他の幽霊から名で呼ばれることはあるが、聖者だとどうしてか心が温かくなる。
I see, so I guess they usually talk about each other using their rumor names. Hibiki, seemingly overflowing with joy, moved closer to me.
僕も、お手伝いできることがあればしたいです。
I was like, not too close, you're going to get a hand from Kureha. Yes, thank you, that would be very helpful.
俺としても助かる。彼女を守る者は一人よりも二人いた方が安心だ。
お役に立てるように頑張ります。
鏡に引きこもるのは卒業だな。
それはできないんですけど。
You're not a shut-in.
でも鏡の中でもできることはあります。同じ鏡を通して見聞きすることはできますので。
Connected mirrors, what's that?
こちらの表の学校に置かれているのと同じ鏡が鏡の中の世界にもある場合です。
Oh, I see, that's incredible. Does that mean you can travel between those mirrors too?
それはここの大きな姿見だけなんです。この鏡には特殊な術が施されているから。
A spell? Can Hibiki use magic?
だから知りたいこととかあったら声をかけてください。例えば探している怪異がいる場合、いろいろな鏡を通して創作のお手伝いができると思います。
That would be very helpful. I'll be sure to ask for your help then.
はい、全力で頑張るので頼ってください。
He's gonna be one of those characters that like thrive on helping her, like Gil.
響は情報屋ってところだな。
情報や、それなんかかっこいいです。
Hibiki's eyes sparkle with enthusiasm. He's actually pretty adorable.
僕頑張りますね。あと気軽に話しかけてください。気分転換におしゃべりしたい時とか。
He is really cute. He stutters a lot, which makes him...
それはいい案だな。あまり根を詰めるのも良くないし、今のお前には安らぎが必要だろう。
makes him even cuter. I guess you're right. Overexerting my mental energy could be dangerous here. I'll have to relax too.
響、さっきも言ったが、ずっとお前に聞きたかったことがある。
That's right. Kureha tried to chase him down and ask him something before. Whatever it is, it must be really important. I stepped back to give them some space.
お前はいつからこの学校にいる？
僕はかなり昔です。
昔というと？ いつだ？ 1949 年か。
There's that year again.
実はお前の名に覚えがあってな。神下ろし事件の被害者の中に同じ名があった。
神下ろし事件？それは月神功が起こしたものですか？
まあそうだが、知らないということは同じ名の別人だったか？
いえ、被害者ではあるかと思います。誘拐という面では。だからクレハさんが見た名前は僕かと。
どういうことだ？
僕は月神功に殺されていないんですよ。自分で首を吊って死にましたから。
Oh, so after he was kidnapped, he knew that was his only escape. That's really sad. He spoke with a smile, causing Kureha and I to recoil speechless. The rope around his neck suddenly felt so raw to me.
怖いけど大丈夫。自分で死ななきゃ。
I couldn't tell when I first saw the images, but was that Hibiki's voice?
そんな顔しないでください。僕が進んでやったことです。こうなってよかったんですから。
Minnie's suicide was for the best. His voice choked with tears, but he wore a confounding smile on his face.
もしかしてあなたは月神功に殺された被害者ですか？
いや、俺は神下ろし事件とは関係ない。被害者の中に俺の名はなかったからな。だが月神家で死んだとは思っている。
Are you not, I wonder? I'm so confused. Huh?
思っている？
俺には一部記憶がないんだ。己が何故死んだのかを知らずにいる。
When Kureha talked about the divine invocation incident, he said he was alive in 1949. Does that mean he lived up until that year? I was again reminded of the Karakara rumor. If he's asking, what have I done, do you think that means that he has amnesia?
そう言われてるんだけど、どうして記憶がないのかは語られないところなんだよね。
The details were different, but considering that he didn't have his memories, I guess it really is like the rumors.
記憶がないのにどうして月神家で亡くなったと思うんですか？
幽霊として目覚めたら月神家にいたというのもあるが、うまく説明できないんだが、感覚的にそこで死んだ気がしてな。
あなたが幽霊として目覚めたのはいつなんですか？神下ろし事件が発覚してから。
いや、まだ神下ろし事件と名がつく前だ。
Kureha stared up at the sky as if deep in thought.
己の身に何が起きたのか分からず、死の原因を探すため月神家の屋敷をくまなく見て回った。だが
It's funny, he said, look up at the sky as if there's sky in the building.
生きている者は一人もおらず、あるのは判別のつかないたくさんの遺体のみ。俺の体はどこにもなかった。唯一月神功の遺体はなくなって間もないように見えたが、黒目のみの瞳で血の涙を流し、瀕死の状態で。
The fear was too much for me and I covered my ears.
すまない。お前に聞かせる内容ではなかった。本当に申し訳ない。
No, it's okay. I'm fine.
月神功に似合いの愉快な死に様。
It sounds like Hibiki holds a grudge. Huh? Hibiki laughed as though he found the whole thing deeply satisfying. Not looking at all surprised, Kureha just sighed heavily.
お前が幽霊となってずっとこの地にいたなら、当時月神家で俺の姿を見ているかもと思ってな。
ああ、 僕は死んだ直後からしばらく違う場所にいたので、だからわからないです。事件の名前を知らなかったのもそのせいで、当時の世情に疎いんです。
そうだったのか。
ごめんなさい。お役に立てなくて。僕が別の場所へ行っていなければ、あなたを見る機会があったかもしれないのに。
いや、いいんだ。話を聞いてくれてありがとう。
That Kureha smiled silently, but knowing what he was thinking, I felt terribly sad for him. He's been wandering and searching for his memories for the last 70 years.
いいんです。話を聞けて、とっても嬉しかったですから。
Hibiki too spoke with a smile, and yet I couldn't even begin to imagine all that he'd gone through. He was a victim of the divine invocation incident and committed suicide. I hadn't said anything until this point, but I finally gathered the courage to ask them about something that had been bothering me. I'm gonna butcher all these Japanese names so much. I've already tried this thing like 3 times. Is Isao Skigami person? Is he the man behind the divine invocation incident?
ああ、そう報道されていたが。
Kureha turned to look at Hibiki.
直接、顔を見ていないですが、犯人は間違いなく月神功。そう聞いています。
There was something odd about the way Hibiki was acting, so I hesitated to press further. But if I don't ask, I don't think I'll be able to prepare my mind. And, can I ask one more thing? What's this relation to the girl named Yui Skigami? Kureha's expression clouded over and Hibiki didn't hide his frown.
月神功の一人娘です。娘が行方不明になったのをきっかけに、月神功は頭がおかしくなった。あいつ、いつもブツブツつぶやいていましたよ。今回の煮えなら、ゆいを返してくださるだろう。とか。
A sacrifice.
噂では月神功は娘が神隠しにあったのだと思い込んでいたらしくてな。娘を返してくれるよう神に煮えを捧げたと言われていて。
Kureha's voice trailed off.
僕の考えでは、人間を捧げたんだと思います。人をさらってきては、殺して神に捧げた。神殺し事件っていう名前。僕からすれば、忌々しいったらないな。まあでも、その通りか。煮え、供物を捧げることにより、神を写し終え下ろそうとした事件なら、ごめんなさい。もう戻ります。
Oh, is he leaving? Thought you were going to help. Hibiki retreated back into the mirror and disappeared. I dug up some truly terrible memories for him. I was immediately consumed with guilt.
俺たちも行こう。
Right. I glanced back at the mirror and whispered an apology, but I thought it unlikely Hibiki heard me. My guilt over Hibiki and the girl, Yui Skigami, muddied my emotions. I couldn't help but wonder if she knew the terrible things her father had done. I'm hesitant to ask her name. At a loss, I felt a wealth of dark emotions stirring up beside me. After returning to the mirror, I paused to catch my breath. I should have known better, but interacting with others really messed with my mind.
まあでも、いいか。
Hearing Kureha tell me how Isao Skugami died was oddly satisfying.
惨めで、醜い最後だ。
I would have liked to have seen it, how I envied Kureha. Was his body desecrated? Was he consumed by divine wrath, perhaps? Well, whatever. My heart stirred at the day's good fortune. I felt warm and refreshed. Then her smile came to mind. I should go back to the mirror. She might visit me again soon.
来てくれるかな。来てほしいな。またおしゃべりしたい。
You're gonna try to touch her again. Truth be told, I was still nervous that my desire for her could go out of control again. But either way, I was glad to talk with her. She made me feel calm and warm. It wasn't warmth one feels on the skin. It was a gentle warmth, like the warm graces of the sun, ones that emanated from her. It was so wonderful. It made me feel so comfortable. This is such a blissful feeling. I wouldn't quite say I'm satisfied, but...
さてと、階段のところに行こうっと。
So he goes in, talks to himself, and goes back to the mirror. I headed back to the nurse's office, but the girl was gone. So Kureha and I began searching the school for her. When we reached the second floor hallway...
謝罪なんかで済むと思ってるの？月神ゆい。
Oh my goodness. Hearing the name caught me off guard. It's coming from the cafeteria.
ああ、行こう。俺のそばから離れるな。
With that, we quickly dashed to the cafeteria. There we saw the girl from before kneeling in front of an unfamiliar ghost.
お前はここにいろ。俺が行く。
Kureha dashed forward to intervene.
お前は神下ろし事件の被害者だったか。
クレハさん、聞いて。月神イサオの娘がいたの。その女の子よ。月神イサオに復讐したいけどいないし、もう娘でもいいかもしれない。そいつを苦しめないと気が済まない。
彼女に牙を向けるのは間違っている。
どうして？そいつが行方不明にならなければ私は殺されなかったのに。私で父の代わりになれるのなら甘んじて受けます。
What is she saying?
謝って済む話ではないと分かっています。ですから好きなように。
Things were escalating quickly. I dashed towards Yui's Kigami. I grabbed her arm and lifted her up.
何を？
よくやった。そのまま連れ出せ。
Right. I pulled Yui as hard as I could and hurried out of the cafeteria. After we reached the nurse's office, I let out a sigh.
大丈夫。
I'm fine. I'm just glad you're alright.
ごめんなさい。あなたを巻き込んでしまって。七不思議について聞いていたら、ああなってしまって。さっきの彼女は、七不思議とは関係ないみたいで。
I know. I'm trying to figure out what defines one of the seven wonders. Because if they're part of the incident and not part of the seven wonders, there's gotta be something special about them. She had always seemed rather calm and non-expressive, but she showed a rare display of emotion before. Yui desperately wanted to make amends for her father's wrongdoings. Perhaps she thinks that if she hadn't been spirited away, none of this would have happened. I couldn't bear to see her this way. I swallowed down my guilt and spoke up. You don't have to help me anymore, please. I hope this doesn't offend you, but I know what your father did. Yui looked away, then cast her gaze downward.
それでは、私の名前も知るところなのね。
How could she not know? Like, the girl in the cafeteria was just shouting it. Whatever. Yes. Yui sighed and her eyes met.
あなたにどう言われようとも。私はこの部屋の外に出て、七不思議を探す手伝いをする。
But...
私はね、手伝うのもそうだけど、同時に自身のすべきこともなそうとしているのよ。
She has her own regrets too.
さっきの出来事を見たなら、想像がつくでしょ。というか、 あれがそうなのよ。
Could it be that you think apologizing to the victims is your responsibility?
ええ、そうよ。だからあなたに何と言われても、私の意志は変わらない。
Oh. Despite the danger, she was determined. I knew there was no way I could stop her.
私はね、ずっと間違ってばかりいたの。今やっと正しく荒れていると思う。だから平気なのよ。
But given what I'd just seen, seeing my skepticism, Yui continued as if to convince me.
現実から目を背けたくて、私は神隠しを起こして逃げ出したの。それを悔いているのもそうだけど、幽霊になってからも私の逃げ癖は健在でね。父が罪に手を染めていくのを見ていられなくて、途中で逃げ出したの。
Hearing them,
あの時、父を呪い殺してでも止めるべきだった。たとえ地獄で裁かれ、魂が消滅しようとも。
you saw the murders happen.
地獄で死んでから戻ってきたの。最後に一目、お屋敷の様子を見てから成仏しようと思って。
Realizing she witnessed her father's crimes, I felt a suffocating sadness.
お屋敷は私がいなくなったことで変わり果てていたわ。使用人はクビになったのか見当たらず、父は
Yui paused, sighing deeply. Her frown pained me to see. I thought about asking her to stop, but Yui continued before I could.
父は私が想像していた以上に憔悴していたわ。そして使える限りの人脈を駆使し、なんとか私の行方を見つけ出そうとしていた。けれど見つからないどころか手がかり一つもなくてね。まあ当たり前なのだけれど。そしてタイミング悪く、いわゆるカストリ雑誌、今でいうゴシップ誌に私に関する記事が載った。資産家令嬢が神隠しに、漁村に古くから伝わる飲酒という風にね。
It must have been the vulgar tabloids Kureha was talking about.
溺れる者は藁をもつかむという言葉があるけれど、当時の父はそんなものにすがらなくてはならないほど追い詰められていたようでね。人を使ってこの辺りに伝わる神隠しの言い伝えについて調べ尽くしていたわ。そして怪しげな霊能者や祈祷師ばかりと付き合うようになっていった。以前の父だったらそういった人に助言を求めることはなかったというのに、そこから得た知識と奇妙な書物とである仮説を立てていって。
Her lips quivered, holding back a torment of emotion. Yui, maybe we should.
とても恐ろしいことをしだしたの。
Her eyes clenched shut, a tear began rolling down her cheek. It's okay, you don't need to say anymore. The nurse's office door opened and Kureha stepped in. Kureha, I'm glad you're okay.
ああ、お前たちもな。
Kureha's gaze shifted to Yui.
何の話をしていたんだ？
I'm gonna ask her all over again. I'm gonna make her cry. Well.
私の父、月神勲についてよ。
最初、彼女に話したのは俺だ。勝手をして申し訳ない。
謝るのは私の方よ。
Yui brushed away her tears and bowed to Kureha.
さっきは巻き込んでしまってごめんなさい。
それはいい。 だがどうしてあんな無茶をした？ああなると予想できただろう。
ああしたかったからよ。父に殺された人たちに謝り、成仏できるよう手助けしたいの。私は父の犯した罪を償わないといけない。だって私が原因で起きたのだから。
だがお前は何十年も身を隠して過ごしていたんだろう。どうして今なんだ？
Yui looked at me.
目の前の問題から逃げ出さず、立ち向かう姿を間近で見て勇気をもらったから。
He's talking about me.
ずっと悩んでいた。彼らを前にして何を言えばいいのか、どういう風に償えばいいのか、いろいろ悩んでいたけれど、結局は勇気がなかっただけ。それを気づかされた。あなたに。
But I didn't do anything. I'm just desperate to get home.
それよ。その必死さが私になかったものなの。
After pausing, Yui looked at me again, her expression serious.
それにね、何があってもあなたをうつしおに返してあげたい。あなたにも待っている家族がいるでしょ。私のような思いをさせたくないの。残された人たちが悲しみでおかしくなることがあるのを私は知っているから。
Her words stirred fear in me. I need to get home or something truly terrible might happen. I then realized getting home wasn't just about me. I had a family waiting for me.
一つ聞きたいことがある。幽霊となってからあの屋敷にずっといたのか？
Ah, that's right. If you had seen the state of the mansion, perhaps she's seen Kureha too.
それが情けないことに、父の行いを見ていられなくて、お屋敷を飛び出して地獄へ戻ってしまったの。再びこの地へ来た時にはもう学校が建っていたわ。
She said she was ashamed of herself, but I would have run away too. No normal person would be able to keep watching.
今の質問の意図を聞いても、
Kureha shared with Yui the same story he told me earlier.
そんなことがあったなんて。記憶を取り戻せるよう祈っているわ。あなたに関する情報があればすぐに知らせるわね。
ありがとう。助かる。
Kureha. We each had our own struggles, each searching for something precious of ours.
それでは私は七不思議を探しに今度は別の場所へ行ってくるわね。
Are you sure you're okay? Perhaps you should rest a bit.
平気よ。むしろ心が上向きなくらいだわ。やっと一歩を踏み出せたのだから。
Yui's smile reassured me, but I exchanged an anxious glance with Kureha. He silently watched as she began to leave. Stopping Yui now would only hinder her in her quest to find peace. Thank you, Yui. Let's do this together.
ええ、頑張りましょうね。ありがとう。
Why is she thanking me?
そうだったわ。せいやさんからこれをもらっておいたの。あなたに渡したいと思って。
She handed me what looked like white flower petals. What are these?
カリファの花といってね、地獄に咲いている特別なものなの。闇を浄化する力があると言われているわ。
Oh, that should come in handy.
例えば悪しき者、悪霊があなたを襲ってきてもそれを持っていれば一度だけ守ってくれる。
Wraiths are no good, especially even in D&D.
実際どのようにしてカリファの花が力を発揮するのか体験したことはないのだけれど、でもきっと役に立つと思う。
Thank you, I'm sure it will. I recall Seiya saying he needed to talk, and then I realized this must have been what it was about. Yui's kindness warmed my heart.
そういうことならお前のそばを離れても安心だな。俺も七不思議を探しに行ってこよう。
You know, I've noticed this a few times, but around Kureha's body, he has like these flames, like these little flickers. I wonder if he like died in a fire or something. Alright, I'll head out too.
いいや、少し休んでもらう。体もだが、心も休めろ。少ししたら戻ってくる。
He's like, go to sleep, I'll come back. But I felt fine. Kureha's concern was clear, and reluctantly I agreed to rest. After Kureha and Yui left, I sat down on the bed. I plopped into the bed and stared at the ceiling. I was wondering what that was. I was like, what is this light? Thoughts of my family flooded my mind. How long has it been since I vanished from the mortal realm? They must be so worried. I need to get back and put their minds at ease. Despite my newfound resolve, exhaustion from the day overtook me and drowsiness crept in. Hey, you're still human. You need to sleep. I suddenly felt my eyelids grow very heavy. I found myself back in my living room at home. Did I make it back? No, you're dreaming.
よかった。帰らないから心配したのよ。
Mom. I sprang up and hugged her tightly. I'm so sorry for worrying you.
落ち着いたわ。ご飯できてるから着替えていらっしゃい。
Okay.
あ、そうそう。あなたがいない間に進路のプリントを提出しておいたわ。
Classic mom. I submitted your college application. Huh?
聖銀大学に向けて頑張りましょうね。
If I was Misa, I would not be happy to hear that. I'm like, I was missing you. You did what? You don't care about me. Oh my goodness. She woke up. I pulled it upright and looked around. Just a dream. Phew, that's a relief. That caused me to pause. A relief? Why would I say that? It's terrible being stuck here. Oh, your mom's gonna go and do stuff like submit you to college while you're gone, so I'd be relieved it was a dream too. My heart raced with anxiety. I had totally forgotten about college. Even if I did make it back to reality, I would be faced with challenges there too. I took a deep breath to calm my racing heart. Still being like this caused my mind to cycle through negative thoughts. Maybe I should try to relax like Kureha and Hibiki said. I stood up and walked out into that hallway. I almost said alleyway for some reason. Oh, really? Okay. Alright, we're gonna go find... We're gonna go to the factory room. Faculty, not factory. Faculty room. I peeked into the faculty room and saw Kureha gazing out the window. Kureha?
ああ、お前か。もう休憩はいいのか。
Yes, I slept in bed and feel quite refreshed.
そうか。あれからそれほど経っていないし、もう少し眠っておいた方がいいんじゃないか。
Why? What are you hiding? More than that, I feel like I need to change my mood. Mind spending some time with me?
それは何を置いても優先しなければいけないな。
You smile, making me feel at ease. It's so soothing to be with Kureha. Thank you, let's have a little chat then.
それはいいが、俺は面白みのない人間だから、話題はお前に任せてもいいか。
Of course you are. What are you talking about? Please don't say that. There's plenty about you that's interesting. Like, for example, sword. Sword. When did you start carrying that sword?
ああ、これか。幽霊として目覚めた時手に持っていてな。
I was gonna say, like, if you died back in 1949 with a sword in your outfit, were you like a samurai? Like, I don't know the different periods of Japan, but he got the sword after he died. That's interesting. Really?
思い入れがある品は死んだ後も手にすることができると聞く。俺にとってはこの刀がそうなんだろうと思うんだが。
Maybe he is a samurai.
いくら思い返してみても、生前の記憶の中にこの刀がなくてな。
Kureha stared down at the sword. Strange, if it was that important to you, you should be able to remember something.
刀を持ったまま死んだのかと考えたが、俺はこれを使って何をしていたのか。
I wonder if it's somehow tied to the memories he lost. But it's such a dangerous item. What could have happened with it? As I mulled over it, Kureha chuckled.
なんだ。お前も考えてくれているのか？
Of course. Yeah, I guess I couldn't help myself, though I doubt I'll be able to come up with anything useful.
それでもいい。一緒に考えてくれる人間がいるというのは嬉しいものだな。これまでそういう人間はいなかった。だからお前は俺にとって大切で貴重な存在だと言える。
He's so cute. Really, I'm not sure what to say, but that makes me happy too. But you mentioned that you had a friend before. You've never talked about this with them.
互いに深い内情は話さない。生前に抱えていた傷をえぐらないようにな。
Old wounds.
成仏できずにいるのはそういう傷があるということ。この感覚は死者にしかわからないところだろうな。
I guess asking too much might hurt his feelings. I'm sorry, am I bothering you with my questions, Kureha?
お前は全くの逆だ。傷口に薬を塗ってくれる救世主ってところか。
Aw. I was grateful when he spoke to me like that. I don't think I'm that special. You're just being nice.
俺はそうは思わないがな。
Hearing Kureha say that made me feel he was truly a beautiful person. After that, we continued to enjoy our short little chat together. Back to the map. And now we're going to go find Hibiki. Is Hibiki here? I climbed the stairs and faced the mirror.
来てくれたんですね。
He's been waiting for all this time. Are you waiting for me?
あ、そうです。またおしゃべりしたいなって思っていて。
He's so cute. I noticed that he has gray stuff around his neck too, and so does Seiya. I wonder what that's about. His voice grew softer and softer, making it hard to hear the last thing he said.
考えてみたら僕、気持ち悪いですよね。あなたはここを通っただけかもしれないのに、待ち伏せしたりして。
No, not at all.
ごめんなさい。また僕はあなたを怖がらせてしまった。
You're gonna run away again? I'm not scared, really. Besides, I should be the one to apologize. I quickly interjected, hoping to reassure him. Hibiki stared back at me, surprised. I only recently learned about the details about the incident, and I was worried I may have offended you. I'm very, very sorry. I bowed deeply towards him. Hibiki remained silent, and I felt I couldn't raise my head out of guilt. Then,
ありがとうございます。僕を気にしてくれて。
slowly looked up to see Hibiki smiling. So you forgive me?
許すも何も、僕は初めからあなたを恨んでいませんよ。
He's like, forgive, you're my new favorite person.
僕が恨むのは、昔からただ一人だけですから。
Isao-skigami most likely.
僕の中にある憎しみは、いや、負の感情、そのすべてをあいつに向けないと、気が済まないんです。
Hibiki's face began to distort with raw emotion.
きっと他の人もそうだと思うけど、僕ほどあいつを憎めてはいない。今日まで何度想像で殺したかわからないくらい。
He feels like he has like two personalities. The really shy, stuttery one, and the one that's insane. Hibiki. His raw, murderous hatred was unmistakable, and I reacted instinctively. Let's talk about something else. Change of pace, you know. Hibiki smiled bashfully back at me.
嬉しいです。こんなに心が明るくなるのは死んでから初めてです。
Phew. I worried Hibiki might get lost in his dark emotions, but he seemed better now. I should have steered the conversation away from that topic. Mirror. I didn't see the last time, but did we get a Kureha affection up when we said sword? I wasn't paying any attention. No doubt this will cheer him up. Is the mirror world really vast and endless?
いえ、限られていますよ。学校の建物内だけです。それでも十分広いので満足しています。鏡から生徒たちの様子を見たり、僕も授業を受けてみたり。だから昼間の明るい時間が好きです。
So you don't explore outside the mirror at night?
幽霊ばかりの世界を見ても楽しくないので。怖いとかはないですけど、あんまり興味はそそられないです。それに、会話を聞いたら心がざわめいてしまう可能性もあって。だから禁止されているんです。
Forbidden. Forbidden. That makes it sound like it's a rule someone else made for him. I want to probe further, but his mood seemed to darken, so again, I changed the topic. Is there any particular students you found interesting while observing them?
ああ、一人だけいました。何年か前に、この姿見の前でダンスや歌の練習をしている生徒がいて、
That would probably entertain me too.
その男子生徒の頑張る姿を見ているうち、応援するようになっていったんです。その人は、後にトップアイドルになったんですよ。
That's incredible. How did you learn about his success?
それは他の生徒たちの会話からです。この学校出身のとか聞いたり、生徒のスマホを覗き見たりして。あの時の男子生徒だって知った時、もうすっごく嬉しくて、夢を叶えたんだなって、羨ましかったです。
His dream. I envy that too, having a dream to chase. Do I even have a dream?
夢に関して何か思うところがあるんですか？
No, it's nothing. Anyway, I should get going.
あ、
How dare you? You ask him all these personal questions and you won't even tell him about yours. I rose and began to walk down the stairs. He doesn't even stop her. Is that where it's going to end? I need a CG. Okay, good. Maybe we'll get one. I feel so much better now. As I approached the door to the nurse's office, I remembered something. The library is just across from here. The library was linked to one of the 7 wonders. Something about a wish-granting book. I didn't hear it from Sayaka, but rather from a conversation among my classmates. According to them, details came flooding back to me. There's this charm to have your wish granted. Sounds suspicious, right? But it supposedly really works, and it's somewhere in the school. It's one of the 7 wonders. They call it the wish granting book. Have you heard of it? Apparently it existed on the first floor library of the main building, but it only appeared to people who really needed it. It has a reddish-black cover like the color of blood. All those who see it are drawn to it and instantly go pick it up. The amazing thing about this rumor is that unlike the 7 wonders, this one is verified to be true. Rumor has it that there's a girl who was being harassed by her teacher. She was so afraid of the teacher that she never told anyone about it. That's when she found the wish-granting book in the library. And just like the rumor says, she was drawn to it and picked it up. Hates my teacher. Please erase him. No, erase him, just not from the school, but from the world. For me, for the school, for the world. Kill him. Kill him. And on the very next day, the teacher was hit by a car and died. My goodness. You think I'm lying? Go ahead and ask her. It was my older sister that did it. Oh. I'd be afraid of my sister. The classroom buzzed with chatter about the rumor after that. Some believe it, others like me were skeptical, but now I have to search for that book. It's just a book, not a ghost after all. It should be alright on my own. I should be alright on my own. Then, as I turned to leave, I noticed a vague shadow slide across the hall's entrance. Oh, what is that large black silhouette? I know who that is. It appeared to be the shape of a person as it suddenly glared at me. Fear paralyzed me. I couldn't move, overwhelmed by a piercing dread. This is bad. Oh, this thing might kill me. Don't leave off. Dang it. I hate this so much. I like this music, sounds good. Anyway, let's turn that down a little bit. I needed a CG and I don't have one. So I might use something out of that silhouette and the eye thing. Maybe I'll make that into a thumbnail. So it said this game was supposed to be spooky and there's jump scares, but I don't know. If one of the jump scares was the little static going, the little flashback that she had, it didn't scare me. I mean, and I have headphones on, so all of the sound is like in my ear. But I mean, the eye is a little bit creepy. I don't know. I'm hoping for some like actual jump scares that it makes me yell. Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with the review of this that the story is dragging a little bit, but it's supposed to get better in the next common route. But hopefully, I mean, we're only on chapter 3 out of how many chapters? There's 5 common route chapters, and then it goes into Kureha's chapter, and 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 4 by himself. So yeah, Hibiki's and Kureha's will branch off eventually. I think it's in chapter 4. So they stop being the same around then. So when I get to Hibiki's roots, we're going to skip everything that is the exact same in chapters like this. So I don't have to like reread a whole bunch of common route to get to his. And that's going to be kind of how I go into the second person of the common route. Obviously, when we get to the next common route, it's the 2 other guys, next 2 guys, it's a completely different story. And I'll just read that. But the way I title them, like Ghost Stories Common Route, Other Realm Common Route, so hopefully you guys will be able to find them okay. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.